What are the greatest risks for investors today, Chris?
For any investor, the most important risk that they need to focus on is whether or not they can achieve their objectives, whether that's generating growth or income for whatever it is they want to do in the long term. So when we look at the markets today, we can see many macro geopolitical risks, and we can certainly see that traditional asset classes such as investment grade fixed income and developed market equities have very strong valuations, and the likely direction of travel of interest rates is very much upwards, which will put those more investment grade and fixed income style of investments under a lot of pressure. And given those geopolitical macro risks that we've spoken about and likely lower GDP growth numbers moving forward, equity markets seem pretty, a pretty difficult place to make strong returns in the longer term.
Where the best opportunities can be found then?
Well, the way that we think about this is diversifying the kinds of places you look for those opportunities, and as we move beyond the purely traditional asset classes, for example, moving away from investment grade fixed income, we found much better opportunities in the emerging markets, in emerging market debt, areas like Indian bonds and frontier markets. We see much better expected returns and potential for creating income and growth down the line. In addition, we think that there are much better opportunities in the more alternative parts of the market, both in terms of alternative asset classes that are such as infrastructure and also in more alternative financing styles, where we see banks have moved away from certain areas of the market and more independent capital can step in and create value. We're thinking about areas like aircraft leasing, litigation financing, peer-to-peer lending, areas that many investors may not have had access to before, but they offer quite compelling return potential. In addition to that, there are areas like insurance-linked securities are particularly interesting at the moment. Following a pretty difficult hurricane season, we're likely to see investors who are putting capital into those markets today getting much better returns looking forward, as those insurance-linked securities are charging higher premiums than they have done in the past.